NoDQ.com.
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 No DQ Galaxy, we are indeed live. My apologies for the late hour. My goodness, this is good old JM, Jeff Meacham, filling in for the boss man under COVID quarantine. God bless him. Feel better at home, Aaron, and the missus as well. Caitlin, we hope you both recover quickly as we approach Survivor Series tomorrow night live from the city that Smackdown is in tonight, the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Of course, we'll be live on the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, specifically the Simple Man brand and the Constantine Studios tomorrow afternoon, at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific for Simply Predicting with Noah and JJ and myself and perhaps others. And then, of course, we'll be live at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific with our exclusive watch-along coverage. Good grief. I'm exhausted, y'all. I apologize. Been sick all damn week. And our reactions to the Survivor Series at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. But that is tomorrow. Tonight, of course, Friday night Smackdown live in the Windy City, the Second City, whatever you want to call it. Everybody a chance to get in here, realize we're on, and we appreciate everybody watching on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel. If you're watching on Twitter, we thank you there as well. Of course, we'll be live across the multiverse of media tomorrow night. NoDQ will not be covering that, as far as I know. Aaron might change his mind. Who knows? Let's get to Smackdown. Let's go ahead and do the thing here as we do on a Friday night. So we started out in the ring, of course, as we do on WWE in the ring. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair all coming out there. Becky said people are questioning why she was going to team with who she was teaming with, is how she put it. And it said, pretty much when it comes down to getting hands on damage control, Becky's in right away. No problem. They did a little thing on social media with Becky where she was, pushing Charlotte off and not wanting to team with her. But we then had Bianca. I honestly missed Bianca said. I apologize. I was in the middle of a few phone calls, so I do apologize for missing what Bianca said. Shotzi then took the mic and said she can hardly contain her anticipation of all the carnage that's going to unfold, and that damage control did humiliate her with the haircut, but ultimately made her stronger, made her unbreakable, which is a phrase that she's used, that Natalia's used over the years, so it was cool to hear that. And Charlotte then got the mic, and I'm sure much to JJ's delight, before she could even say a few words, damage control came out. Bayley, of course, interrupted and stirring the pot, if you will, between Becky and Charlotte. No love lost between those two, as we all know. I remember being on the Jericho Cruise and getting a message about the little lovers' quarrel, if you will, backstage between Becky and Charlotte. So it's old news, it's old history, but they'll be on the same team tomorrow night. So, of course, Bayley in there stirring the pot. And Bayley then questioned the crowd cheering for Becky and said that being a mom has made the man go soft. And I thought that was pretty low shot, if you ask me personally, but I'm also a parent, so I thought that was kind of shitty ever. Anyway, that Becky ended up being the last resort for the babyface team, and that, let's see where we're at here. And that War Games need a cohesive team, as like Damage Control is. And Charlotte pointed out that Bayley's out there, but none of the rest of the team is out there. And then wondering where Damage Control is with Asuka, maybe again stirring the seeds of possible Damage Control turning on Bayley, which we've all talked about on NoDQ.com and across the multiverse of media. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. But then Becky made the challenge for later, which ended up being our main event. You saw it in the thumbnail. Becky and Charlotte versus any two of Damage Control that the team decided to pick. And Corey, of course, Corey Graves, by the way, back at the announce table tonight. Congrats again to Corey Graves and Carmella on the birth of their baby. About 2.5 weeks ago, I think it was now. Congrats again to Matt and Leah, let's be honest. But Corey, of course, agreeing that the implosion's imminent, and Cole kind of took a shot at Bayley. Said everything Bayley says is clearly the gospel. We did a Raw recap, talking about, showing the end of Raw with Cody revealing to the Judgment Day and to the world that Randy Orton will be back tomorrow night in the Allstate Arena as part of Team Cody. inside the War Games against the Judgment Day. Of course, that's Cody, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. Good grief, Jeff. Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and I'm forgetting the 15 member. That is like, I'm the worst. I am clearly not prepared for any of this. Where the hell's the graphic? There it is. Seth Rollins. God, I forgot the World Heavyweight Champion. Good grief, man. So that was recap. Judgment Day then came out to defend the tag titles against Street Profits. No real surprise that the Street Profits did not defeat the Judgment Day leading into War Games. Bobby Lashley was shown pissed. Just pissed off. He was talking to B-Fab backstage and just took off. He was just started off in a huff. He put on Twitter later that they need to talk. They mean the Street Profits, pronouns, to Bobby later. So there could be trouble in paradise with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Before the tag match really got going on television, they showed Damage Control talking backstage, and the team decided for Bayley that it would be Bayley and Asuka in the tag match tonight. So Bayley, again, kind of getting her leadership of the group usurped here just a little bit. So again, is there going to be a break of Damage Control sooner than later? Again, just telling the story, threading the needle, if you will, kids, as we go through SmackDown. They went to commercial after the let's see. So they were back in the locker room, and Charlotte said to the team that she went to Nick Aldis talking about the fact that they found out that Bayley was going to be the team, and of course Becky and Charlotte knew it because Becky was supposed to go to Aldis, and it's kind of silly, again, making us all think that the babyface are going to implode, which, no kidding, right? After the commercial, they had a great package on Dragon Lee. I thought it was really well done. They should, friend of mine, Ben Thomas, pointed out, whoever did that package deserves a raise. That was a great package on Dragon Lee's past, coming up and, being kind of endorsed by Rey Mysterio. And he called himself the future, the evolution of Lucha Libre. And that definitely played into the show later in the evening. So it's pretty cool to see that be done. Grayson Waller effect starts. I know everybody's likes Grayson. I'm over the whole shtick already. If they don't do something with him and Austin Theory soon, I'm gonna be just done with it. I'm more than done. I'm more than halfway done. Also, I'm hesitant to just say screw it, but I'm real close. Anyway, they're supposed to have Kevin Owens on as a guest, the Grayson Waller effect. Austin Theory comes out in the KO, cut off T-shirt, or the sleeve cut T-shirt, doing the Kevin Owens impression. And Grayson goes to interview Kevin. Out comes the real Kevin Owens, of course, to dispute this blasphemous impersonation. And Grayson Waller's questioning why Kevin's out there. He's suspending me. He goes, no, I was suspended. The suspension was up today, and you booked me as a guest on your show. And Grayson and Austin Theory both kind of were chit-chatting back and forth, and ended up saying the name LA Knight one too many times, and talking about, if it wasn't for KO, that wasn't for KO, I should say, that if it wasn't for KO, LA Knight wouldn't have beat Grayson Waller. So then they decided to go attack KO, but because they said LA Knight's name one too many times, LA Knight came out and ended up being a kind of a, not really a pull apart, but the baby faces attacked the A-Town down under, Jesus, and sent them flying, sent the Ficuses flying. It was a big schmoz, and they went to commercial. Matt, good to see you. Doing well, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to respond to this message before I get too far ahead in my... tell you what, I'm going to run a commercial real quick. We're going to check out the... Let's see, do I have it in here? Of course I don't have it in here. It'd be too easy. Here's where you can check out Across the Multiverse. Follow these guys. We'll do a plug at the end here. I'll be right back. There you go. Sorry, but I had to get back. That was an important life message. Priorities over passion, folks. To answer this question, it's not any better for me personally. I love LA Knight. I'm a big fan, endorsement wise, obviously, but just not a fan of the yeah chants being so prolific. Anyway, came back commercial, tag match, no big surprise. We're on SmackDown, so holla holla, tag match. And by the way, let me just point out, LA Knight got a Road Warrior pop in Chicago. My God, did they blow the roof off that place for LA Knight. So happy for my boy Sean Ricker. Very, very cool. They did a recap when they came back from commercial of the whole thing with Heyman claiming Cena's never coming back, and Solo took him out, and blah, blah, blah. And then they had the tag match. No real surprise. It actually went through 2 commercial breaks, so that was pretty cool. Decent match, back and forth. Stunner, BFT gets the 1, 2, 3 for Kevin and LA Knight. Again, I'm not really surprised that Waller and Theory took the L, and they're trying to keep LA Knight's momentum going. They're trying to keep Kevin, in discussion, in talk, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, just kind of it just kind of was what it was. Sorry, guys. Nobody realizes I'm on the air except me, apparently. Thank you, 32 Galaxy, for realizing I'm here, but nobody else is actually friggin' watching. Jesus. Anyway, damn. Let's see here where we're at here. I'll get there. Okay. So Bianca approached Becky backstage and basically told Becky that Charlotte was right, or what she said earlier about the talking to Nick Aldis and the discussion they had. And the two of them need to put everything aside, not just for War Games, but also for tonight if they're going to get through this. And Becky basically told Bianca, you can't ask me not be a hothead. That's just who I am. And, Bianca kind of walked off and Becky just kind of sat there and stewed for a few minutes. And then went to commercial again after Carlito came out to address Santos. Carlito, by the way, tomorrow night was supposed to be Carlito's first WWE premium event, live event match in 13 years. It's not going down that way, obviously, because of what happened in this segment. Santos came out after Carlito was starting to give Santos the message in Espanol. If anybody can translate what they said for me, that'd be super. I was trying to just focus on the segment, not the nuances, if you will. They had a fight, and referees and officials got them separated, and then Santos kind of circled around back toward the curtain, but then made his way through the crowd and jumped over the barrier and attacked Carlito from behind, blindsided him. Looked like he hurt his arm. Maybe he fell on it. Maybe that's how they're trying to sell it. I don't know. They went to commercial again. They came back. Santos attacked Carlito when he came through the curtain. Dragon Lee chased him off. It ended up leading to a thing later where Santos was going to be punished, it seemed like, by General Manager Nick Aldis, and Dragon Lee instead petitioned to be in the match. Now it's going to be Dragon Lee versus Santos tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. After seeing the package and remembering that Rey Mysterio really put the seal of approval on Dragon Lee, I'm looking forward to seeing these two guys go. It's going to be awesome. And I'm not overly upset about Carlito not being in the match. Like I love that Carlito's back. I think his presentation could use a little retroactive booking as far as changing the music. I love the Carlito music, but again, it's more Carlito's old music was more of a heel thing, so they don't want him to be a heel, at least not yet. I mean, I don't really know where this is going. I love the match. I do love the match between Dragon Lee and Santos being a thing, but with Rey out and with now Carlito being out of the match, are we going to see the LWO thing even resolve itself? We've got Zelina and Joaquin and Cruz all against Santos, and now we've got another luchador and Dragon Lee going, standing up against Santos. So everybody's against Santos. So, where does this go is the question I have. Carlito, I don't think, is actually injured. They just wanted to get Dragon Lee a spot on the show, which I'm fine with. I love Dragon Lee, like I said. But if Carlito's not going to turn, if Joaquin and Cruz are going to play Switzerland as opposed to LWO, I'm kind of losing my investment in it, if that makes any sense. I'm just kind of there for it. Going to be a great match, but to Virtue's point, as he points out, without a story, without character development behind it, I'm just kind of there. It's going to be a cool match. Might even be match of the night, might be the sleeper match, but I need a story. I need the story beyond what's going to happen tomorrow night. Like, I know we should, be patient and see what happens, but I don't feel like there's as much emotional investment with both Ray and Carlito now out of the match. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow in Chicago. Oh, let's see what we got here. Pretty Deadly. I know JJ was happy to see them. They came out to face the Brawling Brutes. I missed what happened, but it looked like Rich Holland got frustrated again or something happened and ended up walking out in frustration. And Pete Dunne, Butch pretty much got the beat out of him. He did fight back quite a bit. Put up the hell of a fight. And Pretty Deadly ultimately got the win. I know Butch hit the bitter end on one of them. The other one got the pin. Pardon my not remembering which one was which, Jay. I do apologize. I know JJ's a big fan of Pretty Deadly, so I'm sorry. Good point, by the way, JJ. It's cool to see Pretty Deadly back. I'm kind of bummed that that it looks like it's the end of the Brawling Brutes. But, Sheamus has been around longer. People realize he's been around for, let's me think. 2009 he debuted. So, yeah, it'll be 15 years next year. Just WWE. So, that's fair. That makes sense. But Pretty Deadly being back in full force, healthy, and getting the W is okay by me. Honest to God. Let's see. So then Shotzi approached Charlotte backstage, much like Bianca did to Becky earlier, and talking about when Damage Control bullied her into shaving her head. Charlotte told Shotzi that she was still beautiful, and that meant the world to Shotzi. And Shotzi said maybe Becky's probably just as hurt by the past as Charlotte is, and maybe similar type of talk would do well by Becky as it did for Shotzi. So Charlotte was left to think. We then went to commercial once again. Got the thing with Aldis, with Kayla Braxton backstage, and talked about Aldis again, where Aldis was going to punish Santos, and Dragon Lee instead stepped in and stepped up to the plate, if you will, and took the match for Jesus, you're terrible, Jay. You're awful. You guys are so mean to Charlotte. I don't disagree with it. I'm just saying you're mean. You guys are mean. Anyway, so they did a card rundown from the announcers. We'll get to that momentarily. Judgment Day issued a warning to the War Games, their War Games opponents, specifically Randy Orton, talking about, if it's not your partners, it's going to be us taking you out for good. And then Charlotte and Becky got to the curtain, and you good? Yeah, you good? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You guys are so mean to Ashley. Jesus Christ. I love you, No DQ Galaxy. I love you guys. You guys are the best. I miss being around more often, but it's cool. It's all good. Main event, of course, went through a couple, I think one or two commercial breaks. I kind of was trying to blow through the commercial breaks as best I could. I had limited, so I have to watch some of them. But big surprise, miscommunication at the end between the baby faces. Becky hit the manhandle slam on. Becky hit it on Bayley, got Bayley in the disarm her, but then Charlotte speared Asuka, which bumped into the application of the disarm her. Becky was, of course, very put off by this, and then Bayley got the roll up 1, 2, 3. Becky and Charlotte bickering. They separate. Becky walks off on her own. Damage Control is posing at the top of the ramp, or the top of the aisleway. I guess it wasn't a top. It was just a straight ramp. So at the end of the aisleway, we'll call it that way. And that's Smackdown off the air with Becky just shaking her head in frustration as she walked away. So that was it. Good Smackdown. I thought, it was a good little go home show. I wasn't put off by anything that happened. Nothing really major changed my thinking for tomorrow. We'll talk about the preview momentarily. Yeah, it definitely leads one to believe, if they do the 50-50 booking, does that mean the baby faces win? I didn't catch if Charlotte was late, so I don't know. I'm not sure. Good question though. All right, let me get the graphics, the updated graphics, if you will. And so I know JJ is still watching SmackDown, or at least I'm understanding he is. So if I did spoil anything for you, JJ, I do apologize, but such is life, my friend. So it's unfortunate that Fox is covering other stuff and they had to bump the SmackDown. But hey, if we were home on the West Coast like I was supposed to be today, then I would have been able to watch it and done the recap for Aaron at 7:00 like I wanted to, but it was not to be. And Aaron, to Aaron's credit, he was going to fight through. He was going to actually do the recap tonight, but he's feeling every bit of that the COVID. It hit him like a truck, the poor guy. So I said, I got you. Said go a little later. So we're just now past the 1 a.m. hour. So happy Saturday, by the way, if you're watching on the East Coast. So as of the end of SmackDown, we've got a whole bunch of wow. That's really, really like bigger than I needed to be. And I'm way in the background here. Let's try this. There we go. I like that better. You can see more of me because I'm just that vain. Dragon Lee will now face, as I said, Santos Escobar. That's going to be the match we get instead of Carlito, which again, I'm not overly put off about. I'm really not. I'm okay with it. Tell you what match I'm looking forward to seeing. Besides, this one's going to be a sleeper. It really is. It's going to be a cool. It's going to be a cool deal. I love the. I love the new matchup. It's cool. I dig it. So we've got this one, Dragon Lee versus Santos. We've got the Intercontinental Championship match as it loads. Intercontinental Championship, Gunther and Miz. You know what? On the WWE social media, there's more votes for Miz winning the championship than Gunther retaining. I was very surprised by that. Legitimately, actively surprised by that. So we'll see. I have my thoughts, and we'll get to those tomorrow on Sunday Break Team, which we'll plug here momentarily. We've also got the Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship, the Raw Championship, for lack of a better term. I know Aaron likes to call it the Raw and SmackDown title, so that's what I'll stick with. I'm on his channel. That'll be the title match for Raw tomorrow on War Games. This one, like, I still don't understand the strategy here, but we'll go ahead and talk about it. You at home get to decide who gets the advantage, the baby faces or the heels. Oh, geez. As Becky Lynch, Shotzi, Charlotte Flair, and Captain Bianca Belair face Damage Control, including Bayley, Io Sky, Asuka, and the returning Kairi Zanes. That'll be a cool women's War Games match. And then the men's War Games, as we know, is 5-on-5 this year, with the returning Randy Orton joining Captain Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso against the newly four-man Judgment Day and their ally, in this case, Drew McIntyre. That's all coming up tomorrow on the Survivor Series broadcast. Of course, we're going to be live over on the Custody Studios, as well as the Simple Man brand tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, with our Simply Predicting. Again, that'll be Noah and JJ and myself, and maybe one or two surprises. You just never know who's going to pop in for Simply Predicting. That's again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, and then at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, we'll be live across the multiverse with our coverage of Survivor Series War Games. I actually got that one. It's been sounding shitty all night, so I'm proud of myself on that one. We also will have open mic night tomorrow night we shoot for 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. We'll go as soon as Survivor Series is over. I know Aaron will be back with his live recap of Survivor Series, so make sure you check it out right here on NoDQ.com tomorrow night. The NoDQ review will also be back this weekend at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on Sunday, and you can still vote for the NoDQ.com 2023 Hall of Fame class on NoDQ.com. Check out all the social media links for NoDQ. And then we are off to the races this week again as we end November and begin December for the love of wrestling across the Castadian studios with recaps of Smackdown and Rampage and Collision, which will be on Saturday. And then recap of Raw on Tuesday, recap of NXT on Wednesday, recap of NXT on Wednesday and recap of Dynamite on Thursday. I'll be back at Meech's Musings on Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Staffboy Sports Bar will go live Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on the Casa as well as the Jeff Meacham Network. The Jeff Meacham Network will also co-host the Greg Sherry Show along with the Greg Sherry brand Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then Thursday night, time to be determined because I'm going to be at Disney having dinner with my friends from out of town, but I will be live for Talk Wrestling some point Thursday night, probably close to the usual start time of 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. And man, in addition to all the weekly stuff we have every week, this is all the new original stuff coming up in December across the multiverse. Watch-alongs of Tribute to the Troops, a double feature on the 9th of NXT Deadline and Impact's Final Resolution, Ring of Honor Final Battle, and AEW World's End. 2 new episodes of Dad's Christmas themed, our open mic night, Christmas Eve of Christmas Eve karaoke, and we end the year with episode 100 of Open Mic Night, counting down the new year coast to coast. It's the 4-year anniversary going into year 5 of the Jeff Meacham Network. There is just so much going on. But if you don't have enough to do, or you feel like there's something missing, give the gift. That's right, folks. Santa Meach. There's where you can find Santa Meach on social media. Had a wonderful photo shoot with my buddy Soren Wednesday night before Talk Wrestling this week. So check Jesus Christ. Check Santa Meach out on social media. Hit him up for any appearances you may need. And we also do virtual visits through Santa Meach. That's it for me, kids. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday night. It's Friday night. You know what that means. It's time for Mimi's. It's 1 o'clock in the morning for East Coasters. God bless you guys. We will see you tomorrow right here on NoDQ.com following Survivor Series for Aaron's full recap. If he's up to it, if not, you can check us out, of course, every Saturday for Open Mic Night. But we'll be back again tomorrow with our simply predicting of Survivor Series, followed by our coverage of Survivor Series War Games. That's all tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and as always, say yeah to NoDQ.com. Have a great night, everybody.